Yeah.
This is what PG is doing, and I love to see it. But this is the Paul George that we've been waiting on, we've been wanting to see, and he's getting his moment, and I love it. Ty Lue has put that key into his back. And what you said, RJ, about him getting those 24 seconds of rest, for the first time, I saw Ty Lue animated on the sideline, and he got mad at his team down the stretch. He said, run the play again, meaning go back to Paul George. He was milking Paul George to death towards the end of the game, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
Again, Paul George has played 735 minutes in this playoffs.
God bless him.
130 minutes more than any other player. That's not an excuse. It is just a fact. And the fact that he has not run out of gas yet is something that, again, got to salute him for. I do want to get to what happened back to what happened in the third quarter, right, with Pat Bev and the flagrant foul on Chris Paul. It went to a video review. The ref took a close look at this one. Here's what Monty Williams had to say on the play after the game.
Some of the stuff that's happening is just, it is what it is. But when a guy does that kind of stuff consistently, you know, what do you say as a coach? I can call the league. I can talk to, you know, the officials in the NBA. It doesn't do anything until something's done about it. You know, those kinds of plays are dangerous. You know what I mean?
All right, so Perk, what did you think of the flagrant call on that play? I thought it was interesting that the guys in the booth, the guys broadcasting the game, didn't seem to think it was a flagrant. And Steve Javie came on the broadcast and said he didn't think it was a flagrant. But clearly Monty Williams did. And I can tell you, the Suns fan in the arena certainly did.
Well, I did too. And I'm a little younger than those guys that are way in the booth and Steve Javie. So maybe, you know, their eyesight is starting to go away because of their age. But that was a clear flagrant. Look, this is not football. This is a chop block. And even in the NFL, look, this is illegal.
No, I'm not even going to let you finish this nonsense. I'm not even there's not a flagrant foul. You know why Chris Paul wasn't upset? Because Chris Paul jumped to the right. Chris Paul jumped to the right.
He jumped.
Look, he did jump. What I'm saying, though, is that's how guys are getting fouls, Perk. That's why they're talking about changing the rule. You have Trae Young when he gets no, listen, Perk, let me finish there.
First of all, I was the one that was
it's okay, let me finish. I was interrupted. You weren't saying anything.
I was.
When Trae Young gets a guy behind him, he will jump backwards and then throw a shot. That's what they're trying to eliminate. Chris Paul, right there in that moment, as Patrick Beverley is trying to come, Chris Paul jumps to the right. You can literally see it in slow motion. He jumps to the right to draw the cut. Look, that's not a natural shot motion.
RJ.
Up and down and forward is a natural shot motion. That's not a flagrant. I'm sorry,
RJ, whether he jumped to the right, whether he jumped to the left.
You got to give the defender space.
Whether he did the cha-cha slide, I really don't care. At the end of the day, that was not a basketball play.
It wasn't.
Why was he around his legs? Why was Patrick Beverley around the leg area?
Okay, you haven't ever gone around screens as a big man, and that is no disrespect.
I know it not.
When you're trying to, you make yourself as small as possible. You turn and you're trying to navigate the screen. Now, when a player jumps backwards into you, he's elevating your level. I'm just showing you.
I know how to get up over the screen.
No, you don't. Point being is this, Rach. There's a reason why they're going to change the rule. There's a reason why the rules committee are having these conversations, because that right there, like Chris Paul almost hurt himself trying to draw the foul. If you look at it in slow motion, Chris Paul doesn't jump up, doesn't jump, he jumps to the right as Patrick Beverley's coming. So that's what takes out his legs. That's why the people in the booth were upset, because they had the replay.
Rachel, you know how like sometimes you want to get away from your kids because they get on your nerves in the house? Well, it's the other way around with RJ.
You want to go back home?
No, his kids are happy when he leaves.
What are you laughing back there for?
We will survey.
Producers laughing?
We will survey RJ's two tiny.
Like, no matter where Chris Paul jumped to the right or left, it doesn't matter.
The first thing they teach you when you're going around screens is to get small. Get low, get small. Get your shoulder across. That's what they teach you in YMCA basketball.
I mean, you're listening to one of the worst defenders in the NBA.
Oh, wow. Wow. I had never been targeted.
Do you like the hook and ladder here?
Oh, yes, I do.
Way to elaborate on that, Perk. I like it, but this was not good defense. Watch Reggie stops and turns. What are you doing, Reggie? That was the problem. It was a great play, but Reggie, like, look, the margin of error is so small. You can't stop and look and see where the ball goes and lose. Look, he doesn't even know where Booker is at that point in time. That's a great play, but that's also trash defense.
You draw up ATOs and you work on those plays to confuse the defense, and that's exactly what happened.
Confusing the defense is not turning your back to Devin Booker.
Oh.
What are you talking about here? It's a great play, but it was also trash defense.
It was fun to watch. Big boosties. Reggie Jackson with not one but two emphatic slams in Game 5. Perk, is this man ever going to cool off?
No, he's not. Look, you know what? They call him Reggie Hot Sauce Jackson in the locker room right now because he's on fire. This is a true story. This is not anything I'm making up, but I knew Reggie could do these type of things, but right now he don't have to be the number one option. He's a guy that could get into his bag and be that secondary type guy. I watched him. I raised him in Oklahoma City.
Here we go.
And this is a proud big brother moment right
And
now.
as you should, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
somebody get Bob Sugar on the line because this man is going to make a lot of money.
Yes.
Right? Like, I'm sorry.
Reference, by the way.
What?
That was an excellent
Well, you know, we're in Arizona. You know, I'm in my bag, man. Like I'm searching for the prize at the bottom, right, Kurt? Tell him.
I mean, the Clippers win this series. He's
messed
going to
it up.
become.
I did. I don't know what I do. I don't
Live.
talk like that. I use sarcasm.
Let's switch gears. I want to talk about tonight's game in Atlanta. Trae Young, guys, questionable with that bone bruise in his foot. Richard, how do you expect Trae's injury to impact the game?
You're going to see in the first few minutes, but this is the thing that you worry about with the Milwaukee Bucks. It's like, put your foot right there on their neck and that's it. Just give them nothing. Give them absolutely nothing because you know the longer that they get, the more he warms up the ankle, the more he starts to get into the rhythm, the more they'll start to believe. But this is an opportunity for the Bucks to just put them down. He's not 100%, but we'll see in the first 5 minutes. It's hard for us to speculate until you actually start to see him.
No, he's actually hurt. And my advice to Trae Young, just like I gave advice to Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis, you have nothing else to prove, in my opinion. And I think he shouldn't play tonight, to be honest with you, because he's hurt. You know, the Hawks have exceeded expectations, and Trae Young going out there at 50% is not going to help the situation against this Milwaukee Bucks team. So, Trae Young, if you're out there listening, Mr. Young, his dad, hey, sit out for the night. No one is going to look down.
That would be the first time anyone listened to Perk. What I will say, though, is this.
Feel sorry for their loss.
Well, the point is, we don't know until we give it a try. We don't know if he's 50%, if he's 70%. We know. All of us can see that ankle and be like, that's going to be sore for a couple of days. I'm not going to sit up here as a Twitter doctor like Perk and say sit out, but you'll know in the first 5-10 minutes.
I don't, as I said, I have not seen the medical report on Trae Young's ankle, but I know Trae Young well enough to know he is going to at least try to give it a go tonight. I don't know if that will even extend to tip-off. He'll just try up in warm-ups, but I can't imagine him just turning around and saying, nah, never